Well, here we are at the famous Burleigh Heads.
Welcome back to Real Surf Stories. Burleigh Heads on the Gold Coast of Queensland, Australia, is one of surfing's most iconic spots. Sand flow from the Tallebudgera River is groomed by south swells and creates the infamous banks around the headland. It features 4 distinct sections: Sharkies, the Cove, the Point, and Rock Break. The sketchy paddle out is legendary. The idyllic walk down the pandanus-lined point is contrasted by the slippery rocks with unpredictable waves exploding and a very strong rip current. You gotta pay to play, and the local contingent have it locked down. The fabled right-hander has produced some of surfing's most dynamic performers and has given us some of the most legendary contests of all time. The first man-on-man competition was held here in 1977, introducing an innovative format conceived by Peter Drouyn, which would revolutionize competitive surfing and is still used up to present day on the WSL World Surf League Tour. Going all the way back, the area of Burleigh Heads was formed between 20 and 23 million years ago from the molten lava due to numerous eruptions of Mount Warning. Flowing lava reached the shore in the area to form Burleigh Headland and Point Danger. The area was densely forested prior to human settlement, with eucalyptus forests full of koala bears and other native wildlife. Indigenous Australians inhabited the area of Burleigh Heads for thousands of years prior to European settlement. The indigenous tribe were known as the Kombu Meri clan, who had named the area Jalurgual. The town of Burleigh was surveyed in 1871, and the first sale of town lots were near Tallebudgera Creek. Local lifeguards were gliding the wide bowl since the 1920s, and by the late 50s, surfers were riding the point. The first event to take place here was the Burleigh Festival of Boards, a single-day club competition held in 1965. In that same year, the Burleigh Heads Board Riders Club was formed. By the late 1960s, the roping right-hand point was producing homegrown talent along the lines of Keith Paul, Ken Adler, Peter Drouyn, and Paul and Rick Nielsen. There's many, many more. By the 70s, the Goldies started producing some of the first World Tour champs, with PT and Rabbit cutting their chops on the punchy right-hand points of the Gold Coast. MP frequented Burleigh, and the list of Burleigh greats continued to grow, including Tony, Doris Eltherington, Joe Engel, Thornton Philander, Dick Van Stralen, Richard Harvey, Dwayne and Peter Harris, Kyle Robinson, Nick Heath, Ryan Gray, Guy Amarad, Brad Jeffries. The list just goes on and on. There's many, many more. Peter Drouyn's Revolutionary Stubbies event in 1977 was a huge success. Pumping waves, massive crowds, lots of media attention, and 32 of the world's best surfers were invited and flew in from Hawaii, South Africa, the United States, and Brazil to face off with Australia's best.
Stubbies Classic at Burleigh Heads, man-on-man surfing, blood on the rocks at Burleigh. Michael Peterson and I both knew that was it. It was like one of those Ali Foreman, build-up.
Just exactly the same procedure as what's happened. You've got 10 waves, you've got 45 minutes, minimum of 5 waves. If in 5 waves, like in 35 minutes for like this, and there's a lot of lulls, you haven't got the 5 waves, we'll give you an extension of time, whereas before you'd automatically lose out in the heat. The first guy that gets 5 waves, it's not on in the quarters. Okay? No worries? Alright, good luck to the both of you. Okay? Thank you. Great. Well listen, we'll get you a pair of yellow stubbies. Next time.
Judged on coordination by the 5 international judges. Aggression, that's a smooth or forced aggression. Maneuvering, that's close to the wall. We tell you they're cutting back, carving the wave up. That means they go out into the blue water and then they cut right back real fast to get the speed so that they accelerate once again as the white water slaps them in the old Kool-Aid. That's their rear. Total ride, the utilization of the total ride. What do you do when a wave begins 1,000 to 2,000 miles away, the ocean pump up, and these are just the ends of the big giant storms that make waves come to Burleigh Heads. The total wave break from beginning to end, that's one of the most important things. How you get into the wave and how you get out of the wave, and what you do with the time that nature gives you to stay on the wave. Positioning rail to rail, or just staying on your board, moving forward, sheet of 5, creativity. How you create something that begins with nothing, becomes big, gives you the wave, and then becomes nothing on the beach. Creating what you feel, like an artist. Like an artist, a ballet dancer, or an artist making a painting. Nice sweat coming. watching a big swell way outside. Yellow.
You've got 35 minutes, you'll be given an extension of time if you have to. Okay? You're going to get the 5 waves, don't worry about hassling, don't worry about anything, because if you guys don't make the 5 waves in 35 minutes, the time limit will be extended for you. Okay? It will not be a sudden death playoff. One siren, a long siren to start. Okay? That gives you ample time to wax and get right behind the brake and get everything together. Okay? The flag, the blue flag, will be the official start, okay? And when it's all over, it's all over, okay? Now, what's happening from here, I want you to go over there and I want you to do an interview with Lord on the over there on the PA for everybody just before you go, okay? How do you feel?
I feel great, Kelly. It's great to be here, and plus it's a great contest.
I'm not going to talk to you now afterwards
Yeah,
because you're a bit nervous. We're all nervous. Okay,
Get out there and practice, Michael.
All right. Okay.
Get out there.
Came
Good
on the
luck.
scene a couple of years ago in Hawaii and won everything.
All right.
Mark, you've been surfing. You surf better today than you did in the other heats, in my opinion. Do you feel that way too?
Yeah, I'm feeling a little more confident today than I was yesterday.
You're always confident. Okay, good luck, Mark. Everybody, a big hand for these two champions to find out who is the number one. Good luck. Perfect conditions, as we were saying, at Burleigh Heads today. Perfect glassy walls. They're running from 6 and sometimes 8 feet. Been pumping all through the week. Each day has been getting better and better. And for the surfers, if you could look out now, look at the waves building up on the horizon. Perfect surf for this final main event between Michael Peterson of Australia and Mark Richards, also of Australia. An all-Australian final. And that's yellow.
Yellow, Mark Richards.
Mark Richards drops to the bottom, nearly hit the nose, but beautiful riding, getting his face wet. He's hustling. Michael Peterson, Mr. Smooth, we call him. He got in the tube. He's lovely and happy. Watch him go now. That's the man that should teach you youngsters to surf. He was very nervous, and we saw that. Mark Richards. Watch him now. The big wave. Grinding down the wave. Hits the lip. Whoa, and he stays up.
At the back, Michael Peterson.
Michael Peterson now follows it.
Michael Peterson following up.
Michael Peterson. Watch Michael. He's going in. He always lays back. Laying back in there. Mr. Cool, Mr. Cool, still going. And going right down the knee. Mark Richards is taking off. Look at this. Oh, he needs a speed now. Dragging himself, scratching across the wave. Made the section. Stays in the white water, wants his speed now, puts the board to the top, comes down, lifts it up again. Mark Richards, he's got a big one. Drops to the bottom. Michael Peterson's on the back wave, and Mark Richards on the front wave. Woo! Michael Peterson gets into it. Inside, on the inside. Oh! Now this race. He got the ball. Going inside. Woo! And there we go. All right. Mark Richards paddles up he goes to the top. Comes back now. He's going to do something drastic. Watch him. Has to make the section. Well, he's still there, but the wave has gone ahead of him. Please come in. Mark Richards. Michael Peterson. Watch him now. Side slip. Side slip. Into two. Michael Peterson, look at it go. Beautiful wave. Well, he went for it. Nick, good surfing, really good surfing. Mark! There he is. Okay, big hand. Right there with Lord, mate. Two of you. Let's make room for the police. Okay, you ready? Judge Parks. Michael Peterson, 9.0. Mark Richards, 7.5. Jack Shipley. Michael Peterson, 9.0. Mark Richards, 9.5. Judge Cassidy. Michael Peterson, 10. Mark Richards, 9.5. Judge Jacola, Michael Peterson, 9.0. Mark Richards, 9.5. Back to front. Mark Richards, 9.5. And the last judge, Michael, 10.
That's the way it went. When it's all over.
That the surfers have sort of made in the last 12 months, the new style of surfboards, the closer, the big swing twin fins that MR has brought out, the closeness of the fins, the type of stingers and the hard rails that they're putting on the surfboards, all go to add to making the board fly faster with the more looser control that the surfer has, their ability.
Queensland sun made a welcome reappearance, and the cheetah bikini girls helped to warm the crowd. Only 2 Aussies survived to make the men's quarterfinals. Sunshine Coast product Gary Elkerton made short work of the ever-consistent Hawaiian Marty Thomas in the first quarterfinal. California's Richie Collins couldn't stop the rampaging world champion Martin Potter in the second quarter. Quarterfinal number 3 featured the other Australian, Michael Barry, who has marked himself as a hungry big wave specialist recently in the Hawaiian Islands, but didn't turn local knowledge to his advantage over Hawaii's Sonny Garcia. The fourth quarterfinal was all-American, Todd Holland of Florida doing his best, but unable to match the consummate professionalism of former world champ Tom Curran of California. The first of the semi-finals pitched Martin Potter against Gary Elkerton in what was to be the closest heat of the Bundaberg Run Masters. Frustration for Martin Potter and elation for Gary Elkerton, who was off to the best start ever in his professional career. Semi-final number 2 and poor wave choice by Sonny Garcia ensured that the Mr. Complete of professional surfing, Tom Curran, had qualified for his second man-on-man final in succession. Last month, Curran had beaten Elkerton in the final of the Coldwater Classic, and here they were again in the warm waters of Queensland. In the first few minutes, a clash on the outside proved to be an expensive mistake for Elkerton.
Surfing yellow, Gary Elkerton incurred a paddling interference. Well, that's well, I'll tell you what, the crew from the Queensland crowd are happy about that, mate. It's part of the world of surfing.
The infringement made it virtually impossible for Elkerton to win. Only 3 of his best waves were totaled at the end of the final. Curran had 4, and now has 2 wins from 2 starts on the 1990 ASP World Circuit.